Alex McCord didn't miss a single attempt today. Your thoughts on his performance and his progression throughout the week and how far he's come?
I think he's gotten better and better. Here's a bug. He's had the ability to do it in practice pretty good, and I think that the biggest thing, you just got to settle down. It's easy. You just do it, and so he did. Yeah. What's that?
Thanks for not hitting you with the ball.
I didn't know he'd go that far. I didn't really think he'd go that far.
Coach, able to kind of play the string out a little bit today, and how important was that on a short week to be able to get some of the starters out there, maybe even mix up the first and second team in the first half?
Hard to say. It's hard to say. It's good to get some of those young guys in. We got to work on communication with those guys, and we did some good things, some kind of explosive things, but we got to get better at communicating. And but any experience we can get them, I think, is beneficial.
Will today, for passing yards and passing touchdowns, broke the Mississippi State single-season record in both those categories. What has that been about him this year that's kind of, let him take that next step and break those records?
I think the biggest thing, he works incredibly hard. I think he's become more consistent. But, where that where the line is between himself and the improvement of the linemen, the backs, and the receivers is hard to define. I think that one, he's more used to his personnel. The other thing, I think that he, they've become more consistent, and so, it allows you to execute better.
John, would you say you're surprised with the?
Two really good weeks in a row. The other thing is he's practiced really hard for 2 weeks, not some of the up and down stuff. He's practiced hard for the last 2 weeks, and I hope he can. I think part of it is getting a rhythm and realize how good he can be, and I think he's kind of getting there.
Coach, Will's not with you on the sidelines very often, but what's he like as kind of the second quarterback watching Chance out there, and what does he do to maybe help those guys when he's not in the huddle?
Well, he unselfishly wanted to keep playing, if that makes sense. Didn't like coming off the field, but was happy to see Chance come on the field, and they're pretty tight. So he was kind of confused which of the two he wanted to happen. And, he's just a good teammate, cheering everybody on and, almost kind of living with each play like he's coaching it a little bit, but really, really good as far as cheering those guys on.
You kind of mentioned it earlier, talking about the young guys getting some time out there, but is it kind of hard to have a big takeaway from a win like this when you beat a team by such a big margin like it? And if so, what are the biggest takeaways that you would get from this one?
I don't think there's a huge takeaway. I think it was kind of a tough time to play us and not such a bad time to play them. And I have a lot of respect for their team. And, Coach George, can you imagine, goes and gets his business degree, then all of a sudden he gets dragged into coaching too. So, but that's I really admire what he gives to that team and to football to do that. And but I think that there's not really, the biggest takeaway is we wanted to be consistent. We wanted to have consistent effort on all four sides of the ball. we knew it wasn't going to be perfect, which it wasn't. I do feel like we had consistent effort for the most part on all four sides of the ball. So that's, we did have a consistency going.
Why was it a tough time to play y'all? Why was it a tough time to play you guys? Why do you think that was?
Well, I just think we're getting better. I mean, we're a different team than we were early in the season.
Your defense today had 12 tackles for loss, 4 sacks. How much do you think that kind of set the tone early?
Well, I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it. I think that, anytime you affect the backfield like our defensive front did, it's going to be tough to get much going on offense.
Hey, Mike, what makes you guys a different team now than you guys were in the beginning of the season?
The experience. We worked hard for it too, and work hard in practice. But the combination of hard work and experience, consistency, I would say. I don't have us as a consistent team, but we're more consistent than we were.
So I know you're obviously coming off this game, so there's a lot of other stuff on your mind. But I mean, you're going to be back here just in a few days to play such a huge game. I mean, for a short week, what do you guys kind of have to change, and what are the next couple of days going to kind of look like for you?
Well, I'm going to be back at the office in a few hours. You just kind of condense it, get the game plan in quick, and then condense it, and with a shorter week, try to, be as precise as you can with the film, because you may have to cut some reps or a period here or there.
Coach, you've coached in some incredible rivalries in your career. What does rivalry week mean to a team?
Well, I mean, if you're fully invested and you're doing the very best you can, it should mean another opportunity to play a great and exciting game, where you continue to do your best and try to improve. And I think that's what we need to do.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.